Isn't it ironic that he has a very young family? He's carrying a baby. He's a young father. And so maybe as he watches Coach Greg's video, as I analyze what he's been taking, he might think twice about what he's doing. Coach Greg, in today's video, Sadik Hadzovic comes clean. My ped history, the truth about steroids. The video that I've been waiting for. Don't know about you, but when somebody comes clean, is honest, open, transparent, talks about the use, abuse of performance-enhancing drugs, that is a video that I want to cover. Thank you always for the transparency. It's refreshing. We need more videos like this where pros talk about what they really do. Thank you, Sadik. I have even more love and respect for you now, and I was already a fan. All these chemicals are going to take decades off this guy's life. Pretty wild when you consider he has a young family. And so clearly he's getting real, he's opening up, he's being open, honest, and transparent, and so let's dive right into it.
6,000 milligrams of citrulline malate. So citrulline is one of those things that helps you get that pump.
And so he starts his day off with a pre-workout, not exactly like mine, but he's got 350 milligrams of caffeine, and so perhaps he got all hyped up on caffeine and couldn't stop talking because, trust me, you're going to want to watch this video. He gets into everything he's been taking. Wait till you hear it.
So I've been using anabolic steroids on and off about 20 different times.
And so in Sam Sulek style, he's driving off to the gym and he's going to be talking about his use of performance-enhancing drugs. Now remember, if you're natural and you don't want to use performance-enhancing drugs, remember he said he's done 20 to 25 cycles in the 10 years he's been using it. You can, of course, use GO2 Max, Ecti Builder, and Turk Builder. All the supplements and many others available at the HCLTC website. Code Greg, 15% off.
This is meal number 1 today before we go to the gym. Have 100 grams of protein.
Isn't it ironic that he has a very young family? He's carrying a baby. He's a young father. And we, of course, know the dangers of using and abusing performance-enhancing drugs. And so maybe as he watches Coach Greg's video, as I analyze what he's been taking, he might think twice about what he's doing.
Gotta drink the rest of this for the gym. Stay hydrated. Crazy chest pump, crazy shoulder pump coming your way.
And so if you're looking for a crazy pump, of course you can take pre-pump as well as Turk Builder. The pumps I get on these products, it's absolutely through the roof. It doesn't make any sense. It's incredible. Now, of course, it's not going to be quite the same thing as taking performance-enhancing drugs. You know that those are banned, that they're perhaps illegal in your country. And so please be careful. Never take performance-enhancing drugs without telling your doctor, and never, ever break the law.
So it is a taboo thing. People are still kind of like, steroids are bad. I don't really see steroids as being bad.
What are you talking about? Of course they're bad. Do we not see all the people who are dying from taking steroids? Do we not see all the negative side effects, the gynecomastia, the balding, the liver, the kidney problems, the cardiovascular diseases? The list goes on. And so he doesn't see it as being bad. Now remember, when you're using and abusing steroids, you're going to try and self-justify it. And the reason is you're trying to save your ego. Imagine if you think it's bad and you're doing it, how could you do it? How could you keep doing it? And so what you do is you diminish or downplay the negative results and you amplify the good. Oh, steroids not a big deal. I don't know why people are against it.
So, like, to me, it's like as at the same level as like a creatine or an amino acid.
And so what he's done is he's justified it in his own mind. He thinks it's okay. It's not a big deal. Remember, he has a young family. He's been abusing steroids over 20 to 25 times. That's a lot of times. Remember other guys? Oh, it's one cycle won't hurt. What about 20 to 25? Because one cycle absolutely can hurt. And after you do one cycle, do you know how hard it is to stop? Exhibit A. He's now done 20 to 25 cycles. Perhaps he didn't think, oh, once I do this, I'm going to do it forever. But imagine how difficult it is to stop. Even with a family, a little baby, it's still very difficult for him to stop because once you stop, you're going to lose the majority of those gains.
It's just, man, this is so tough to talk about.
And so he says, wow, this is difficult. He's trying to make the video. Remember, he's hopped up on caffeine and he's still having a very difficult time talking about it. And so he's struggling to get out his emotions, but he wants to be open, honest, and transparent, which I do, in fact, highly respect.
I made it to Olympia without using anabolic steroids. I would only use clenbuterol which is labeled as a steroid, but it's more so a fat burner.
And so it's not technically a steroid, but it did help him to get shredded. It can decrease your appetite, increase your metabolism, and so on. And once he made it to Olympia and saw all these guys with bigger, better physiques, he thought, I need to go to the next level. Why do you think I used performance-enhancing drugs? I wanted to turn pro. And in comparison, if you look at men's physique from 2013 to the guys in men's physique now, do you see any difference? Back in the day, guys that were weighing 150, 160 pounds were turning pro. Guys today, men's physique, if you're under 200 pounds, you're kind of considered small. And so many of the men's physique guys are in fact bigger than I was when I was a open class bodybuilder. It is incredible. And so if you think you're getting those physiques while being natural, well, think again.
Clenbuterol is something I would take for all my photo shoots. If I need to get in shape for a magazine cover. At the time, magazines were like the shit.
And so I experienced the same thing. I was on magazine covers in the past. It was a very cool experience as it was very hard to get. Nowadays, you can post your photos on Instagram. You can get validation. You can get millions of followers. And so you don't technically need to be on a magazine cover. But back when Sadik was bodybuilding and so on, he was on magazine covers looking incredible. And so imagine the pressure to use and abuse performance-enhancing drugs.
And when I did use steroids, it was because I was out-muscled on stage by some guys that were just training longer than me.
Now, they were on steroids, Sadik. The reason they had more muscle than you, other than possibly having better genetics than you, but your genetics are in fact incredible, is because they were using steroids and you were not. And so imagine this scenario. They were drug testing at the Olympia. All your competitors were natural. You would have likely been the biggest competitor in your competition. And so the reason you took steroids most likely is because you wanted to win.
I started suffering from once in a while I get panic attacks. Once in a while, I'll really get kind of either hyper aggressive or hyper happy.
And so the results of taking steroids, it wasn't all good. Remember, he put on 10 pounds of muscle right away, which obviously is good for him. He was also getting panic attacks. Not only that, he was hyper aggressive. Not good.
I don't cruise. I don't do TRT. I don't, dabble in a bridge cycle. When I'm off.
That is in fact beneficial. It's better than doing it year round, but it's still going to cause some damage to your body. In comparison, many YouTubers, influencers, and so on, they're on year round. Every video, they look incredible. For example, does anyone think that Joey Swole is 100% natural? Every video, we see him at single-digit body fat, looking incredible, doing backflips and so on, trying to make a difference in the world. But what is it going to be like if, in fact, Joey Swole does not make it another year? He's already been in the hospital twice. Do believe he had potentially a heart attack a year ago. And he's been quoted as saying, I was laying on the back of the bed, looking at the ceiling, praying that I could last another day. And so imagine, is Joey Swole potentially taking years off his life from taking performance-enhancing drugs?
Learn how to pull back so that you could lunge forward. One step back when you're off season, then when you're preparing for a show, you release, you shoot forward.
And so I know he's talking about lifting weights, going heavier than last time and pulling back and keeping some in reserve and not going full tilt all the time, but you can extend this to using steroids, SARMs, performance-enhancing drugs in general. You can't always go all in. If you're always blasting, lifting the heaviest weights, going year after year, never taking a break, you're going to wear out your joints, you're going to wear out your heart. And so my advice, obviously, to stay natural, but if you are in fact not natural, don't abuse it all the time. You might be thinking, there's no way I can come off. Well, what happens when you get a heart attack and you can no longer do what you love? Think of it. I'm 48 years of age. I'm still training hard in the gym, still racing bikes. But remember, I didn't start abusing steroids in my teen years. Didn't do it in my 20s. Was in my 30s. And remember, I've stopped. Notice he has back knee. He turns around to the rear after doing a set. You can clearly see the acne development. Now remember, he's admitting he's not natural. He's competing in, I believe, 3 or 4 months. And so clearly he's on performance-enhancing drugs. He's looking at himself in the mirror. He's checking himself out, thinking, look at the chest, look at the delts, look at the shoulders, look at the muscle. He's getting noticeably leaner, harder with every given week.
I actually felt my body release testosterone and growth hormone as I was doing this. It was a splurge of manliness, toxicity coming out of me.
Did he just release the demons in his pants doing that exercise? What is he talking about right now? I just had a splurge of testosterone and growth hormone releasing the demons out of my body. What is going on now? I don't know if the PDs have gone to his brain, but this is certainly not happening. You don't do an exercise at the gym and literally feel the testosterone coming out of you.
I'm drier and harder.
Did he just say he's harder? Is he in fact taking harder than last time? For the downstairs, or possibly could it be Turk Bill? Builder. I know when I go to the gym on Turk Builder, I appear harder, more vascular, more shredded. And if you're not interested in any of these products, perhaps you might want to take pre-pump. Ingredients in it, for example, L-citrulline, of which he was taking before he left to the gym in the morning. He went over his pre-workout drink. These can make you have more vascularity, appear drier and harder in the gym.
I have more separation, more dryness, more hardness.
Now remember, if you are in fact not natty, please consider using blood work. This combination of ingredients can help to improve your blood work. I'm not saying it can erase all the damages of using performance-enhancing drugs, but it certainly can't hurt, now can it?
Some words that I'm not fond of, which I want to avoid, is softer, flatter.
Yeah, when's the last time you wanted your woman to say you're looking softer, and when's the last time you told your girlfriend that she's looking flatter? No one wants to hear flatter and softer. Oh, babe, you're looking really flat. Your glutes looking really flat right now.
So if you're flat, it means your muscle doesn't have that round, bubbly look. And if you're soft, then you don't have the dryness and you can't see the separation.
One more product, G-Test. If you in fact have lower levels of testosterone, in particular if you've been on performance-enhancing drugs and you have suppressed HTPA axis, you may in fact want to use Nolvadex or other PCTs, but certainly you can use G-Test to help you improve your testosterone levels. Not saying it's going to solve all world's problems from using PDs, but it certainly can't hurt, now can it? Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, watch one of those two bloops, and of course, we've got the cookbooks, the training book, the Circle Diet book, all the different books, PDF hard copy. You can get all those, as well as if you want a free diet and training program, go to the website, become one of the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. Head over to the website, look for the discounts. Creatine, 50% off. Get over there right now. And until next time, I am out.